In a village nestled deep within the Himalayas, where ancient traditions dance together with the rhythms of modern innovation, there exists a place unlike any other. This village, known as Parampara, is a beautiful contradiction. On one side, you hear the echo of traditional mantras floating through the morning air. On the other side, the gentle hum of solar panels and the soft beep of digital devices fill the soundscape. Farmers walk through fields guided by drone technology while children design custom agricultural tools using three-dimensional printers. It's a place where the wisdom of centuries meets the promise of tomorrow. At the heart of this extraordinary village lives a remarkable young girl named Vasantika. She is only 14 years old, yet she possesses a gift that seems far beyond her years. From the moment she could walk, Vasantika has had an almost magical relationship with technology. Her fingers dance across keyboards with the grace of a musician playing their favorite instrument. Broken irrigation systems come back to life under her touch. The village's energy grid, which once seemed impossibly complex, bends to her will like clay in a potter's hands. People have come to see her as something close to a guardian angel of progress, though she would laugh at such descriptions. To Vasantika, fixing things is simply what she does. It's as natural as breathing. But there is something even more special about Parampara than its technological achievements. Standing in the very center of the village, commanding attention and respect from every living thing around it, is a magnificent banyan tree. No one knows exactly how old this tree is. The oldest members of the village speak of their grandparents speaking of this tree as if it had always been there. Its roots plunge deep into the earth, drawing nourishment and strength from the very soul of the land. Its branches stretch outward in all directions, creating a natural cathedral of shade and shelter. They have protected lovers meeting in secret, sheltered travelers from sudden storms, and offered shade to farmers during the brutal heat of summer days. The villagers call this tree Vriksha Dada, which means grandfather tree. It's not merely a name, but a term of profound respect and affection. Vriksha Dada is more than just a plant. He is a symbol of continuity, a living connection to the village's past. According to the oldest legends passed down through generations, Vriksha Dada holds within his ancient form the collective memories of the entire village. Every joy that has been celebrated beneath his branches, every sorrow that has been wept into his roots, every transformation and triumph has left an imprint in his bark and leaves. The village elders speak of him as if he were a living library, a repository of wisdom that transcends the written word. They say that if you listen closely enough, if you truly open your heart to his presence, Vriksha Dada will share his knowledge with you. One particularly hot afternoon, when the sun seemed to press down on the earth with the weight of 1,000 hands, Vasantika found herself sitting beneath Vriksha Dada's sprawling canopy. Her laptop was open across her knees, its screen casting a pale blue glow against her concentrated face. She was facing what seemed like an impossible problem, one that had been consuming her thoughts for days without resolution. The village's farming prediction artificial intelligence program was malfunctioning, and the consequences of this failure were far too serious to ignore. This wasn't just about fixing broken code. This algorithm was designed to predict monsoon patterns with sufficient accuracy to guide the farmer's entire planting and irrigation strategy for the season. If the algorithm continued to produce unreliable results, the harvest would suffer terribly. Families would go hungry. The village's entire economy would collapse like a house of cards. Vasantika had been working on this challenge with the intensity of someone whose sense of responsibility goes beyond mere professional obligation. She understood what was at stake. She knew these families, knew the children who played in the village square, knew the elders who depended on a successful harvest for their survival. The pressure was immense, but she had never shied away from challenges before. Yet this problem seemed different. No matter how many times she examined the code, no matter how carefully she traced through the algorithms, no matter how many different approaches she tried, the errors persisted. They seemed almost deliberate, as if the code itself was resisting her attempts to fix it. Line after line looked correct, yet the results were chaos. Numbers that should have pointed toward meaningful patterns instead spiraled into nonsensical conclusions. After hours of futile effort, frustration began to creep into her mind like a visitor she hadn't invited. Her fingers felt heavy on the keyboard. Her eyes burned from staring at the screen. She felt the first tremors of doubt beginning to shake her confidence. What if she couldn't solve this? What if this time, her technological prowess wasn't enough? These questions had never crossed her mind before, and their presence now felt foreign and frightening. In that moment of weakness, of exhaustion and doubt, Vasantika leaned back against the rough bark of Vriksha Dada's trunk. The wood was warm from the afternoon sun, and there was something comforting in its solidity, in its age-old permanence. She closed her eyes and simply sat there, trying to calm her mind. Her hands rested on her lap, and she let them drift upward, her fingers finding the textured bark beside her. As she traced the patterns in the ancient wood, something extraordinary happened. Very faintly at first, so quietly she almost missed it, Vasantika heard whispers. They weren't the voices of people she knew. They weren't even quite like voices at all. They were more like the rustling of leaves, the creaking of ancient wood, the gentle movement of wind through branches. Yet somehow, impossibly, she understood that these whispers were directed at her. They seemed to carry meaning, as if the tree itself was trying to communicate something of tremendous importance. At first, Vasantika thought perhaps her exhausted mind was playing tricks on her. Surely the whispers were just the sound of the wind moving through the branches above. Yet as she concentrated, as she allowed herself to truly listen, she began to perceive patterns within these whispers. It was as if Vriksha Dada was speaking in a language older than words, a language of patterns and energy and interconnectedness. The tree was showing her something about the relationships between all living things, the invisible threads that connected every plant, every insect, every creature in the ecosystem. The tree's guidance began to shift her understanding in profound ways. Through the whispers of Vriksha Dada, Vasantika started to perceive the world as the ancient people of her village had always understood it. She saw how plants supported insects, and insects supported birds, and birds scattered seeds that grew into new plants. She saw how the health of the soil determined the health of the crops, which determined the health of the people who ate them. Nothing existed in isolation. Everything was woven together into an intricate tapestry where each thread was essential to the whole. The traditional farming knowledge of her village ancestors, passed down through generations, was based on this understanding. They had never thought of nature as separate pieces to be controlled and manipulated. Instead, they had seen it as one living, breathing system in which humans were participants rather than masters. Then, like a flash of lightning illuminating a dark sky, Vasantika understood the problem with her algorithm. The program processed, compiled, executed. The results appeared on her screen. She held her breath as she studied them. And there it was, perfect accuracy in predicting the monsoon patterns. The algorithm now understood not just the numbers, but the dance of relationships that made those numbers meaningful. The farmers could now prepare their fields with confidence. The irrigation systems could be optimized based on predictions they could trust completely. The harvest would be saved, and with it, the future of the village. Word of Vasantika's achievement spread through parampara like ripples across a still pond. But the impact went far beyond simply solving a technical problem. Other villagers, inspired by what Vasantika had done, began to examine their own practices with new eyes. They started to seek out the wisdom of Vriksha Dada, just as Vasantika had done. Farmers began integrating traditional ecological knowledge with modern tools. Teachers started incorporating the teachings of the ancestors into lessons about sustainability. Artisans found ways to blend ancient techniques with contemporary materials and methods. The entire village underwent a quiet revolution, a transformation that honored both past and future, tradition and innovation. Word of Parampara's extraordinary experiment in sustainable living began to travel beyond the village boundaries. Researchers came to study their methods. Environmental organizations wrote about their success. Journalists told their story to the world. Eventually, people from all over began to arrive in Parampara, seeking to learn from what Vasantika and her community had discovered. The village became a beacon of hope in a world struggling with the consequences of losing its connection to nature. It showed that another way was possible, that progress and preservation didn't have to be enemies. But the most profound change was perhaps the one that happened within Vasantika herself. Her experience beneath Vriksha Dada's branches had fundamentally transformed how she understood the nature of knowledge and intelligence. She had always been brilliant with technology, but she had seen it primarily as a tool for solving discrete problems. Now she realized that true intelligence was something far deeper. Real wisdom wasn't about having the fastest processor or the most sophisticated algorithms. It was about understanding the intricate web of relationships that connected all things, about recognizing that everything in existence was interdependent and sacred. This realization led Vasantika down an entirely new path. She began to explore what she called the concept of nature's algorithm, the inherent intelligence that seemed to be encoded in every living thing. She believed, with an almost spiritual conviction, that if humans could truly understand this natural algorithm, they could unlock solutions to the greatest challenges facing the world. Climate change, food security, disease prevention, environmental restoration, all of these seemingly insurmountable problems might yield to the wisdom that nature had been trying to share all along. Vasantika continued to code and to build, but now with a different purpose. She was no longer just a girl who fixed broken systems. She became something closer to a translator, working to convert the language of nature into mathematical and digital forms that other humans could understand. She developed new tools that allowed people to listen to plants, not through whispered words but through data that revealed the plant's internal state and needs. She created monitoring systems that allowed entire ecosystems to be tracked and understood in real time. She built restoration algorithms that could guide the healing of damaged environments by mimicking the patterns through which nature itself heals. Over the years that followed, Vasantika became a global leader in the movement to harmonize technology with nature. She inspired countless others to pursue the same path of synthesis and balance. But she never forgot the afternoon beneath Vriksha Dada's branches when an old tree whispered ancient secrets to a modern girl. She never forgot that the greatest innovations often come not from rejecting our past but from honoring it, integrating it, and allowing its wisdom to flow through our present actions into our future possibilities. The story of Vasantika teaches us something essential about the nature of progress and wisdom. It reminds us that for countless centuries, the indigenous peoples and traditional communities of the world have possessed deep knowledge about how to live in harmony with natural systems. This knowledge was not primitive or outdated. When we lost this knowledge in our rush toward technological advancement, we also lost something irreplaceable. But the story also shows us that we don't have to choose between past and future, between tradition and innovation. Instead, we can weave them together. We can use the best of what technology offers to amplify and extend the wisdom of what came before. We can create new possibilities that neither traditional knowledge nor modern technology could achieve on their own. This is the real promise of human potential, not domination of nature but genuine partnership with it. Every person who reads or hears Vasantika's story might ask themselves a similar question. What whispers from nature are you failing to hear? What ancient wisdom is available to you if you would only take the time to listen? What problems in your own life might be solved not by working harder or faster, but by stepping back and understanding the deeper patterns and relationships that connect everything? Vasantika's journey ultimately reminds us that the greatest solutions are often found not by creating something entirely new, but by remembering something old and allowing its wisdom to guide our steps forward into the future.